Welcome to this Rules We Got Wrong for our Warmachine Hordes BatRep number 6. This was a 25-point game between my Trollbloods and Ben playing Les's Khador. So if you haven't seen the game so far already, the link's just right there. And I'll give you a minute. I had a cup of Joe last time. I'm not really thirsty right now. So I'm not sure what we can talk about, giving people an opportunity. Well, they should have gone there by now. You know, if they clicked on the link, a new window will pop out and this will pause. So I'll leave it there for another couple seconds. So, well, first of all, thanks for watching. That was it was an interesting game. It was a faster game than I thought. First time we played the new Steamroller 2013 scenarios, and I think I think everyone, if they've ever played the Incursion, this was the scenario where you have the 3 flags in the center of the line, and at the end of the second player's first turn, you roll a die to see which of the 3 disappear. And since I sort of bricked my guys together, hoping I could go to either side, whichever way I wanted, because I had the bomber on one side, I had the Earthborn Dire Troll ready to go through with Pathfinder, be able to boot through to the other one, and sort of hold the center one with the bulk of my guys. Yeah, that didn't work out. So the center one disappeared, which I think most people argue it always happens to them. I know mathematically that's not possible, but it always seems like that. So basically I was having to go over to both sides and wasn't able to really do much with either. So in the end, learned a lot. And I also anticipated a shooting army, and the army Ben brought didn't have any shooting in it whatsoever. So I was prepared for one thing and got something completely different. So my Bellows crew, my Swamp Gobbard Bellowed crews, which I picked up I got for Christmas for my sister, basically sat there making a nice pretty cloud that pretty much didn't do anything. So, but again, you always learn. That's what's great with these games. So just a reminder, all the comments come from the comment sections on the YouTube. Gee, I don't sound old by calling it the YouTube, the Mini Wargaming, the Privateer Press forums. Well, I guess that makes sense. Daka, and the Balls, or Bella Boss Souls, and also I don't think there was anything from, but I also post these videos to the Google Plus, the Warmachine Hordes community. If you haven't joined that already, check it out. It's really cool. It's, some good conversations, and people post photos and videos and such, so it's quite nice. So we'll jump right into the comments. Well, not really right in. I think I've been yammering for 3 minutes, but so we'll start off with Brother Helix from YouTube commented that Khador turn 1, Vlad casts Boundless Charge and then runs forward. Warlocks and Warcasters can't run after casting spells, I think. And then Coffee Twitch 4 said I was going to mention the same thing. If he wants to run 12 inches, he could have cast Blood of Kings on himself, then charge. So I think in this case it was me just misspeaking. I believe what he did is he cast Boundless Charge on Juggy and then then he charged. We just didn't capture the charging part, and I called it running because I was looking at visually, not listening to the audio during the editing process. So it was just my case. So for my issue, Mr. Pokey 423 says, and from YouTube said, when you say Lust, you mean the painting guy? And I actually responded to this one. I said, I wish. No, we have a Les in our local gaming group. Les has been was playing 40K with us and now playing Khador. Mr. Poke is, just wondering, that would be pretty awesome. I'm thinking it would be too, but I don't think Les Bursley is going to make his way up to Southern Ontario Southern Ontario, the province in Canada, not Ontario, the city in California, to have a game with us. So, or lend someone else's models to someone. So, but kind of need to think of it. So. Biovore11 commented something about watching Warmachine BatReps is so entertaining. Well, thank you. I'm assuming all of them, not just mine in general. Though at 440, I'm not sure you could declare a charge past a line obstacle like that wall. And that's actually true. I was looking into the linear obstacles, and you're not allowed to charge. The only exception, which Coffee Twitch points out, you can if you have Pathfinder, and that is correct with Pathfinder. You can do that. But if you wanted to charge over a wall, you don't have to pay any movement. And actually, that was something that Ben and I had been doing. We'd been paying a penalty to move over the walls, but linear obstacles, you can, if you're walking or running, they're just normal movement. But you can't charge over them. They block the charge lane, which actually makes a little bit more sense with Janessa's wall, because I was putting up the wall and he was charging over it. I'm thinking, well, how's that possible? So it's just a good one of these things. Again, I keep learning in these games, which is part of the reason why I do these videos is because then I can learn from them and hopefully theoretically get better. Greg Stringer said Khador has the lead, but you can't keep a tough troll down, and that was in response to my asking at the end of turn 1, who did you think was going to win? I thought it would. Well, I mean, I knew who won, so it's easy for me to say that. But and we'll talk about what I thought at the end here. So, Coffee Twitch 4 for part 2 brought up Hero's Tragedy, and this is the big thing. I always seem to do something significantly wrong in every game. Hero's Tragedy was my thing with doing wrong for this game. So, Coffee Twitch said, I don't have my books handy, but does Hero's Twitch affect warrior models? If so, Draco would not have been knocked down. Also, it's difficult to hit. Not that it's not that it's that difficult to hit Khador heavies. It's more of a challenge than auto hits, and that was talking about the chronicler. I had put Hero's Tragedy on the Krill Warriors, and the ability is if you wind up removing or boxing a character or one of the unit that have Hero's Tragedy on it, the attacker is knocked down at the end of the turn. It only affects the warriors. It doesn't affect the jacks. So in this case, Drago shouldn't have been knocked down. He should have been still there. So. And UK Draxon would basically clarify that for us, as the Crawler can only tell stories to units who are in his command range, and yes, it does affect the warriors. I think what you're asking is, sorry if I misread, Hero's Tragedy states, and I think he's quoting from the rules, which I'm not 100% sure if Privateer Press wants us doing, but I'll go through it quickly. An enemy warrior model is destroyed if one or more affected melees. An enemy model warrior that is destroyed one or more affected models in melee is knocked down. Drago is not a unit, so he had not have been knocked down. And then Tavaritij, I'm sorry for mispronouncing people's usernames. Warlocks and warrior casters are warrior models too. So basically it's saying anything like Jacks and War Beasts aren't affected by this. DK Wargamer said Drago is a character warjack, not a warcaster. Hero's Tragedy only affects warrior models, so Coffee Twitch 4 is correct as indicate. And there we go. So yeah, so basically I said I knocked down Drago because of the the Hero's Tragedy. I was wrong. He would have knocked down. If he attacked with the Doom Reavers, that would have been correct. But because it was the Jack, that wasn't the case. The Manly Zorro from YouTube says, I'm sure that when the troll tramples, he still needs to roll for melee attacks on those Kayazi to hit them. After that, they die, and that's correct. I'm not sure why we didn't. I think Ben and I both basically realized that based on what their I'm not even sure why we did it, to be honest. I'm not sure if it was a case where we thought it would be an auto hit, or if it was just a case where didn't think you had to because of the trample. But yeah, I went back and read the rules, and that's confirmed. You're still supposed to do the hit, because if you miss it, then you would go through it. I don't think it was a case where we didn't film it, because we're pretty good for capturing all this stuff when filming. So, but we noticed we'll do that next time. I Wargame Law, or I Wargame LA from YouTube, said nice BatRep scoring happens every player's turn, so he should have scored points on your third turn as well. Also use a more thematic, something more full of more theme sounding background music instead of the ganja time. That was, and I talked about that in the last rules we got wrong. The reason I use that music is I used to do Warhammer 40,000 Orc battle reports, and to me that music suits the Orcs. And to me, the Trollbloods are the Orcs of... oh, sorry, I just thought the camera ended. Or stopped. To me, the Trollbloods are the Orcs of Warmachine Hordes universe. So to me, there was a logical transition. But I did this last video, the last rules we got wrong. Comment below. Tell me, do you like the music? Do you don't like the music? I find some of the more serious or orchestrated, like the soundtrack stuff, often hits peaks when something's boring's happening, like you're moving a guy across the table. So you get this huge crescendo as you're, okay, and now he moves this guy up. So it just never seems to match up. We're having that constant sort of the reggae beat in the background. To me, it's my preference. But hey, if people are finding that they're finding it more of annoying or distraction than anything else, I can definitely look at something else. So comment below and let me know what you think. Steam Power TV from YouTube said same thing about the hero strategy only affect warrior models, so Drago wouldn't have been knocked down. Greg Stringer from YouTube said nice game, thank you, appreciate that. And Vishy Swa from Mini Wargaming said, what's with the picture quality? Don't you normally post in HD? I didn't really notice anything, because when I edit this stuff, the program I use, the window that shows the video is about like less than a quarter of the size of the screen, so I didn't really notice it. Now the one thing I have been doing is I've been taking photos of my miniatures for my blog site, which is defheaddice.com. That's defheaddice.com. And I've been having it in macro mode, so I can get really nice close tight photos. And I think part of what the issue is I left the camera. When you go to the video camera, it stays in that mode, and I think I filmed the entire thing in macro. So it had trouble focusing and a few other things at times as well. So I'm just gonna make sure I don't run into the same issue next time. So, but it was HD. I mean, it came through as the 1080p off my my Galaxy my Galaxy S3. So I had the same camera as everything else. So maybe just a case with the fact that it was in macro mode. So. And he also comments, science importance, roll extra dice to remove the lowest on all attacks and damage rolls, not 2. And actually there's something that I believe gets covered on, but basically, excuse me, Drago has an affinity with Vlad, which gives him the equivalent of science importance. So when Vlad casts science importance as well, it means that he gets it twice. So basically he gets to roll 4 dice and remove the lowest 2. So that's why I was doing 2. If there wasn't that affinity, then he wouldn't be getting it. And if you notice anything with Jug, he didn't get that benefit. He only rolled an extra dice. It was only with Drago that he got the extra 2. Fury from Mini Wargaming says, awesome BatRep Fraser, they get better and better. Thank you, appreciate that. I really like all the visual images you have added, especially the damage grids for the War Beasts and Jacks. It helps visualize what's happening. And that was that, and I give full credit. That's from the War Room game or War Room app that's available for the iPhone, iPad, as well as on the Android devices. I like it. I know a lot of people said they're not a big fan of it. I've bought the Trollbloods section. I'm probably going to buy the full package just because it's easier to have everything handy when you're doing lists and such and validating rules, because half the time I don't know the rules my opponents are using on me, and especially when I'm doing these battle reports afterwards, I have to figure out, okay, what does this do, and have to remember all that. I like the program. No one else I know uses it, so we can't do the live, and I can't use it while we're filming because I'm using my phone, which has the application as the camera. So it's but I'm trying to convince Les to bring his tablet, put it on his tablet. But I've just been grabbing a screenshot off the phone. I may have to create my own because I'm not sure. I have to be careful on what I can do and if I'm sure I'm not infringing on any kind of copyrights. But I do give them full credit. So if I'm not supposed to use it, Privateer Press, comment below and let me know. And he also said, incursion is such a hard scenario. Seems like the middle point is always the first one to disappear. Exactly. See, Fury understands my pain. A couple rule things I noticed. When the Mauler trampled and make the damage roll against the 2 assassin, he would need to roll to hit them first, which we've covered. Also, Khador turn 1, it looked like Vlad cast Boundless Charge and then ran forward. And again, I'm 99% sure he actually charged it. We just didn't capture. Because normally what we try to do when we're filming, we'll point to what he's charging at and run it through. Usually you'll find that the first couple actions in turn 1, we're so excited to get the game going, we don't always film stuff as accurately or as efficiently as we should. Not efficiently, but as accurately as we should. So every now and then you'll see a little bit of mistakes. So, but I'm pretty sure he charged and didn't run. And keep up the great work and great BatReps. Thank you, really appreciate that. Vishy Swall from Mini Wargaming. Science importance, roll an extra dice. Actually, we just talked about, he commented that twice. And then and to Vishwa, I assume Vlad upkept or recast signs important. Yeah, actually, there was one thing that that Ben had pointed out, is that Vlad has no upkeep spells. Anything he casts, he has to cast new every time. There's no upkeep, which I thought was interesting. Shamrod from Mini Wargaming said Drago's affinity with Vlad does the same thing as signs importance and let it stack, which I think we covered off. And then there was more discussions on my miss. I think it was more of a misspeak than it was, where he actually, I think I said he ran, but he actually did charge. So I'm not going to pronounce this because it's got an X and TH, and I don't know how to pronounce that. X from Privateer Press. Yeah, I did say it. Just a question: shouldn't Khador win the scenario at the end of Troll turn 3? We get one control point at the end of turn 2, then dominate and controlled at the end of turn 3 for 3 control points. The bomber was out of contesting range, and that was a case. And that's one thing I have to make sure we film better for anytime we do these the controlling or the control points or missions or scenarios like this. You need to film in between the turns, not just the end of at the end of the overall turn, but the end of each of the side turns. Because we did confirm it, and I went back and looked at it again and talked to Ben, and the bomber was contesting, so that's why he was able to. We were able to go on to the next turn. And that, I think in the video I said I thought it was just out of range, but he actually was within that 4 inches to be able to contest that group. Or no, you know what it was? I apologize. He wasn't able to get the points because the ruling says that a unit has to be within base-to-base contact, and the rest of the unit has to be within that space. So you have to have that full unit within that 4 inches. So with the Kayazi, he couldn't get all of them in there. So I don't think he could hold that one without having everyone within that space. At least that's the way we read it at the time, if memory serves me correctly. If I'm wrong, by all means, comment below and let me know. But I'm pretty sure that was it. Lacerdo, yeah, said, yeah, I think he was saying the Creels and the Bomber were contesting a flag each, and that's what we just talked about. Nice video. I like the pacing and the camera angles. Thank you. I'm trying to reduce the amount of shots. One of my buddies was commenting about how one of the games I did with the game against Les and Ben, where I was shooting from the side, there was far too much crotch in it because of just the way the camera angle. So I'm very mindful of trying to keep people's crotches out of the shots from now on. So you're welcome. The flag split makes it hard for trolls. Perhaps you need a bit more aggressive with the krills rather than trying to advance of the hedge. And one timey comment from part 1, the Juggernaut must have charged 9 inches rather than 7 inches since he had boundless charge to get over the hedge. Now that's the thing, is if you're charging, and again, comment below. I mean, a hedge is considered a linear object. You're not allowed to charge over a linear object. You have to stop. At least that's the way I read it when I went over the rules a couple days ago. So I could be wrong, but I think, and I talked about this in the last rules we got wrong. I come from the world of Warhammer, the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Our game, and basically it came from the universe. That's kind of crazy, but I came from the game, and a lot of the rules, I've sort of my approach to the game has sort of been a little bit more reserved, and I'm finding quickly that I need to be more aggressive. The first thing, I went back and looked at the video, I sat back. I should have been sending the Creel Warriors up, get them up there right away, and then make room and get the Earthborn up there as well. I think I was concerned about what the Doom Reavers could do with their reach and with the Abomination, I believe is what they have, or the Terror, the one that requires them to take the command check within 3-inch range. I was concerned about what those guys could do, and meanwhile I had guys that, I mean, if I had the Creel Warriors up there with the Hero Strategy, they would be being knocked down. I'd be able to do something with them next turn. So I really need to be more aggressive and realize that things in this game, not everything survives. I was just listening to the Scrumcast, which is a Trollbloods podcast, and one of the things they said is you value stuff too much. You value each of your units so much that you're not willing to put them out there. I mean, these units are, like, Creel Warriors are there to die. That's what they're doing. They're there to get in, cause some damage, and then get out of the way so you can move in your heavies afterwards. At least that's the approach I'm beginning to realize is that they're going to be the best one to take. And I have to get that into my head when I'm playing. So when I look back at this video and realize I was way too conservative, I should have been right up there in there immediately and being a little more aggressive. Now, if the middle flag had stayed, it would have been a lot easier for me, because I realized once I had the bomber out on my left, he was out with the control range, so there was pretty much he was on his own, so there wasn't much I was going to be able to do with him at that point anyways. But he was just there to contest and hopefully survive. But I think the Kayazi would have torn him apart if we'd gone anything past that. So but in the end, it was an interesting game. It was fun to play the Steamroller rules, and we're going to continue to do that. I have a game scheduled with Les with his Khador later on this weekend, or upcoming this weekend. So we'll have another battle report shortly. And as I mentioned the other game before, I mean, most people have watched my games. You got a good idea of what I have. Let me know for Trollblood. I want to pick up some stuff soon. I'm thinking maybe picking up the long runners, or maybe picking up Mulg, or picking up some scatter gunners. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Give me some suggestions, and then based on what you've seen and what I've played and what I have as a Trollblood player, what should I have? I do have a Borka and a Grim Agnes, which I'm painting. Grim Agnes is actually in my Muse on Minis Play It Painted challenge for this month, so I'm painting that for as part of that contest. There's a link below. I'll throw the link below if you're interested. If you want to get rewarded for painting the stuff you're going to paint anyways. If you're not painting your stuff, why not? You should be painting your stuff. That's half the fun of the hobby. But so that's I do have a few Warcasters I'm going to start trying out. I think Grim. Madrick. There we go. I'm pretty sure I've played him enough. I don't think I've played him well at all, but I'm to the point now where I want to mix things up a little bit. So I'm going to be hopefully playing Grim, if not this weekend, probably playing him. Playing him in the next couple games. So, but comment below, let me know what you think. And once again, thanks to all the subscribers, thanks to all the viewers. We cracked 40,000 views and over 500 subscribers. So that's I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching and listening to me ramble on for 20-30 minutes. I don't know if it's a good sign or not that the rules we got wrong video is actually longer than the BatRep it was itself. But thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more stuff in the near future.